Welcome to Lesson 2. I'm Colin Daniel from riffninja.com, and now we're going to add the shuffle rhythm to the single note bass riff that I taught you in the first lesson. This is all based on and influenced by Mannish Boy, Muddy Waters. Now, Muddy Waters played in a lot of different bands, and he had a lot of different players that played with him, and every version of Mannish Boy is a little different. But we're going to stick with the basic one of his earlier recordings. But I'm sure you'll find other ways of playing this other than this, and just wanted to let you know that this is not an exact copy of it, because Muddy Waters didn't copy his own riff exactly either. But it's a good riff nonetheless. And in the first lesson, I got you to do this. You know, and I'd count 1, 2, 3. And now, as soon as we hit that A, you know, the last A in our riff, instead of just hitting the A, we're going to hit a power chord. Now, it looks like I'm barring my strings with my first finger, but I'm not. I'm actually only hitting the 5th string open and the 2nd fret, and that's on the 4th string. I'm using my first finger, and if you remember in the first lesson, I talked about using your 2nd finger to get the C. So you can position your first finger underneath that open A string to get the 5th. This is called a perfect 5th. It's a power chord. 3 places you can play the power chord open: A, D, and E. Little bonus there. We're going to use the A, you know. So once you get that, it's the shuffle rhythm that's the trick. Most beginners struggle with the shuffle. I think it's a more difficult rhythm to play than a straight 8. And one of the reasons they struggle with it is because they perceive the shortest note, or the last note of the beat, as the first note of the beat. It's actually, that's not the way it works. There's an old corny saying that says, play it like you say it. So when you count it, it's like 1, 2, 3. That ah beat is just before the next beat. So you know you're going 1, 2, 3. And I usually group it, like when you play it, you group it so the short note feels like it's connected to the long note. You know, because you got 1, 2, 3. But the ah is the last note in the beat before the next one. So when you go 1, that is the last note of the first beat. So you go 1, 2, and every time you hit the it's the last note just before the next beat. So that is not the first beat of, or the first note of each bar. It's the last note before the next beat in the bar. And that's why I say, when you start it, you don't start it by going 1. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So that is always before the next beat. And if you get that, then all you have to do is line it up with the bass notes that I taught you in the first lesson, and you do it like this. Remember, I said you count to 3 and then you start. That means that this riff is at the end of the bar, right? It's a push. That's the way that shuffle, that whole rhythm thing works, right? So it'll go 1, 2, 3. And to break it down even further, it's like when I do this riff and I hit that first A, that's on the 1, 2, a 3. I don't play any further because remember when we counted in the riff, we went 1, 2, 3. Well, now we're doing the same thing, but we're just playing the shuffle. 1, a 2, a 3. 1, a 2, a 3. That's how that works. But Muddy Waters always starts on the take-up notes, the bass notes. So when they call in the song to count, like if I was doing this in a band, I'd probably count 2 bars. Like I'd go 2-bar count starts after the 3 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And once you get really confident with a riff, you can raunch it out with some distortion or some crunch. 1, 2, 3. All right. So if you like this lesson and you're interested in some more and learning how to play electric blues guitar, come and visit me at my website, riffninja.com. I've got a great course. It's electric guitar for beginners blues, and we'll see you in the next lesson.